Hi, today we're gonna learn about hyperbola. Hyperbola being a function called hyperbola. So we're gonna start understanding the standard form of equations of hyperbola. So ST being a standard form of any equations of hyperbola. So the standard form of equation of a hyperbola, it's y equals to a over x. This is a standard form, and we also have a standard form of being y equals to a over x plus let's name it h and plus q. So we're gonna understand what makes the difference between the two standard form. So the first standard form of equations, you know that we don't have the value of h and then we don't have the value of q. And then how do you draw the graph of this type of equations? First thing we need to understand from the first equations of a over x. A can be greater than 0, that's mean a positive, or a can be less than 0 or a negative. So we know that when you use a table method, but we're not going to use a table method. I suggest that you in grade 11s, you know how to use a table method. So how the graph is going to look when y is equal to a over x. So we know that when a is a positive, your graph is going to lie from the graph lies from first and third quadrant. Your graph will lie from the first and the third quadrant. What does it mean? I'm gonna draw my little graph here. When my a is greater than 0 as a positive, so I know that my graph is gonna lie from the first quadrant and the third quadrant. Okay, so this is when y equals to a to the power of x. So that's mean being a y and x, each and every positive value of x will give you a positive value of y. Every negative value of x will give you a negative value of y. So we're going to try to do a quick example. Let's say y equals to 2 over x. Let's assume that our x value equals to 1. So therefore y equals to 2 over 1. Therefore our y equals to 2. Our y value is going to be equals to 2. Our y value is going to be equals to 2. So therefore if x is equal to 1, therefore our y is equal to 2. So same way, if x our x equals to negative 1, so therefore our y is going to be negative to 2. So let's assume that here we have a negative 1, our y is equal to negative 2. So this is when your a being a positive, as for this example. So I'm gonna draw a quick line here, and then when your a it's less than 0, so it's mean that your graph y is going to be equals to let's put it as a negative a over x. So when your a is negative 4, so your graph as an hyperbola is going to lie on the second quadrant and fourth quadrant. So we have our y and we have our x. So we're going to try to do as an example. So as an example, y equals to negative 2 over x. Let's assume in this case our x equals to 1. Okay, So when x is equal to 1, so our equations are going to look like negative 2 over 1. Therefore our y is going to be equals to a negative 2. So as a coordinate, we know x is equal to 1, our y equals to negative 2. Okay, when x is equal to 1, let's assume 1 is here, x is equal to 1, our y it's a negative 2. Okay, and then let's say our x equals to negative 1. So that means the equation is going to be y equals to negative 2 over negative 1. Sorry, negative 1. Negative 1. Therefore, x equals to 2. So this coordinate is going to be, let me put the bracket as a negative 1 and 2. So if x being a negative 1 here, and our y value is going to be equals to 2. So now we understand the standard form of these equations. How do you draw this type of equations when you don't have U2 asymptote? Okay, so in our next pages, our next video, I'm going to explain you how do you draw the graph of this standard form of hyperbola. So I'm going to explain it in our next video. So don't forget to subscribe so that you can get all my video, and also please comment on any topic, or if you have any questions that you want me to explain, please comment on my video so that I will know how to answer all your questions. Thank you.